So guys, this whole plan is really simple in essence, and that's the whole idea, so that you can remember it really easily and you can modify it and use different things to fit into the categories that I give you. Basically every day you want it to be breakfast is where you're going to have your carbohydrates. Those are the only carbohydrates you're going to have all day long for the most part, the only major carbs you're going to have all day long. And breakfast is going to be either oatmeal or oat bran, or you can do the brown rice farina like the video that you're about to see in here, and add some berries to that. You can add a banana if you want to, just keep it to one. You can add some cinnamon, you can add flaxseed for healthy fat, you can add chia seeds for healthy fat. You see all the recipes in here, or a couple of them. But basically your carbs at breakfast, you can have protein at breakfast or not, just make sure you have the carbs at breakfast. And then lunch and dinner are just going to be meat and vegetables. Greens are included in the vegetable category. So if you have a chicken salad or a salmon salad or a steak salad, that would be a meat and vegetable meal. Now if you just have greens like spinach and you add some meat on there like some chicken or some pork, that's okay. Or you can do some eggs. That would also be a really good protein source. Ground turkey, maybe the turkey sausage patties if you don't want to spend as much time cooking this stuff. You put that stuff on the greens. That would be meat and greens, and that's good. If you add some more vegetables into there, that's even better. If you add some carrots or some broccoli, I like to steam baby carrots. That'll be in here too, that video. It just makes them easier to eat. You can add some oil and some salt if you want to. Broccoli, cauliflower if you like that. Bell peppers are always really good. You can eat them raw, and that makes it easy. You can buy them sometimes already pre-cut in bags. You pay a little more, but it's really convenient. So carbs for breakfast, meat and vegetables for lunch, meat and vegetables for dinner. That's it. Here's what you need: frozen blueberries, chia seeds, virgin coconut oil, organic, and some already pre-thawed frozen berries, blueberries, strawberries. This is brown rice farina, Bob's Red Mill. You need a pan and a thumb. Turn up the heat. 2 cups of water in there. Bring the water to a boil. Turn down the heat once it boils. Pour about 1 cup of the brown rice farina in there, Bob's Red Mill. Gluten-free brown rice farina. It's just ground up brown rice. Stir it up. Make sure you leave a lot of water on the top, because this stuff soaks up the water pretty fast and you don't want it to get too sticky. That's a pretty good consistency there. Tablespoon of coconut oil, or less if you're really watching calories. Tablespoon of chia seeds. Now you're going to add the berries. These are the ones I already defrosted a while back, so I leave them out of the fridge in Tupperware for like a day, not 24 hours, just from the morning to the night. And then I put them in the fridge overnight, and then they're thawed. Mix all those berries in, put some of the juice in there as well. Just frozen berries. There's no sugar in that juice, no added sugar. It's just organic frozen berries. Stir it up real good. There you go.
For the kale, we want to chop it up real small because we're going to add lemon to it to break it down a little bit, and we're actually going to be able to eat it raw without cooking it, and this makes a really good salad. I like to put a giant Tupperware right in front of the cutting board and then just cut it into really small pieces as I go along. And I'm going to go back through and chop it up even a little bit more after I get done with the main cutting. Chop that up nice and small. Put it in the Tupperware after you chop it up real fine. At least a little bit with the kale. If you don't want the stalks in there, which I don't like too much of the stalk in there, you're going to have to go and break apart the leaves like this. Just kind of tear them off, throw them in there. And then you can throw away the stalk, or you can juice it if you like to juice stuff. I'm going to use mine and blend it up. And now we're just going to take the juice of 1 lemon. And this container is particularly good because it's not real deep, but it's real wide. And I want to cover as much of the kale as possible with the lemon, because the lemon is going to help break down the kale. If you ever had raw kale and you can't chew on it, just because it's not really broken down. Some people like it. I don't. I like to break it down with something. Lemon works really well for that. So just go ahead and squeeze the whole lemon on there. We're going to save this stuff as well, the lemon rinds and the stuff inside there, and then the stalks in case you have a juicer or a Vitamix and you want to throw that stuff in. Okay, now we're just going to add 3 things. Avocado oil, you can use olive oil if you want to, pink Himalayan sea salt, and then cracked pepper. We're going to put it pretty lightly just over the salad. So add all that stuff. A little bit of salt. You can go back and add more later if you want to. Oil. I'm using avocado, but you can also use olive oil. And that's it. Now, we're going to get the lid on there. We're going to shake it up. This is helping the lemon get all over the kale, so we can totally break it down. Now you want to let that sit before you eat it for at least a half an hour. If not, let it sit all day and overnight too, in the fridge. The spices on these I'm going to keep real simple. Sometimes I add a little more, but today I'm just going to put cracked pepper, and we'll add a lot of that. There's about 1.5 pounds of turkey in here. Actually, I think they're 2 pounds. And I'm going to add the ground pepper to the carrots too. Pink Himalayan sea salt. Some of the best kind you can get in terms of mineral content and just how healthy it is for you. Going to add that to both as well. And then just in the ground turkey, you don't have to do this, but I like this stuff a lot. Liquid aminos. Tastes just like soy sauce, but it's not soy sauce. I'm going to put a good amount of that in there because some of the flavor is going to cook off. But that's going to give it a nice salty flavor. Next, we're going to cut up the green onions. You can cut them as big or small as you want to. And this food's done cooking, so check this out. Here's one meal that I'm going to make. This is going to be a low to 0 carb meal. Put a little bit of ground turkey in there. About 3/4 to a whole cup, depending on your appetite. On top of that, you put some of these carrots. You can see they're kind of black on the edges. Tupperware's burning my hand. Add the carrots onto there. On top of that, put a few of the green onions. And then on top of that, we're going to add a little bit of that pre-made guacamole. And if you want a little more fat than that, you can add a little bit more guacamole. A little more salt and pepper if you want it. That meal is good to go. Low to 0 carb meal. A little bit of carbs in the avocado. Tiny bit in the carrots, but not that much at all. That's an excellent fat loss meal right there, and it tastes really good too.